Hello, it's Charles Fockaert, January 29, 2018. I welcome all of you. Thank you for watching, sharing, subscribing, and supporting this channel. I'll tell you what, yesterday was just an awesome day. It was a fantastic day. You know, we got so much to be thankful for when you think about it. With all the stuff going on in the world, we still got a lot to be thankful for, and yesterday was one of those days. I spent a lot of the time yesterday in the Word of God, and getting renewed, and and then I had a talk with Joe over there in the Bay Area, and we had a nice talk, and I'll get into that here in a moment. And I got to take a Carlo Rossi shower, and I got all refreshed, and I'm outside. It's about 4:30 or so. The sun's going down. The sun's heading to the west later and later in the day. It's nice and warm out. I'm wearing a pair of shorts. The whole thing, man. I'm just thinking about how good things are. And I got to thinking about Yahweh, and I just said, I said to the Father, thank you. Just thank you that things are so good. I have my health. I have a place to stay. I have a place to live. I have food. I got friends. I'm beginning to accumulate a few friends. And one of the hardest things to do in life, I think, is to find 3 friends. And I talked about that in other videos. It's very, very difficult to find 3 friends, folks. So I'm sitting there out there last night. The moon's coming up to the east. The moon's headed my way from the east. And I'm thinking about the level plain earth. And you shall know the truth and what the truth will do to you and for you. Excuse me, I got to take a sip of coffee, and I want to tell you why in a minute. That's another positive here, folks. So anyway, I'm sitting out there. No, I'm not sitting out there. I'm outside, and I'm walking around, and I'm at that time of the night, that time of the evening, or that time of the day, if you will, the sun hits all the hills around here and the terrain, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And folks, I've been to over 25 countries. I've been quite a few places in the world. I stayed in the Caribbean for 6 months down there on Corn Island, Nicaragua, as a manager of the hotel. I've been to Thailand. And you know what? Every place you go, there's so much beauty in this world. It's just, and I was out there last night, just being thankful. I said, Father, thank you. Thank you. And I got tears in my eyes, folks. I'm almost there now. I'm telling you, I'm almost to the point now where my eyes are going to water just thinking about yesterday. And the Lord spoke back to me, not in an audible voice. No. He spoke back to me, and he says, this is what he said, folks. Let's go have a look at that, shall we? Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. The Father doesn't ask too much of us, folks. He's already proven his love to us by coming and becoming a man, coming to the earth and becoming a man to die a horrible death. And he knew from the beginning, he knew from at least 12 years old when he was in the temple and he was reading out of Isaiah there, he knew the fate that would be his. He called it the baptism that I have to be baptized with. Can you handle that? And he knew the death that he was going to have to experience from a very young age. So he carried that as a burden all the way through his life. And I just think that's amazing. And the only thing that he asked from us, the first thing that he asked from us, is that thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all your feelings, and with all thy soul, with all your being, and with all your intellect, with all your mind. He wants us to love him. And, and he got asked that by a lawyer, by an attorney. He said, what's the first commandment? And, and men like to make commandments about what you can't do. You can't do this and you can't do that. And if you do this, we're going to punish you. If you think the Holocaust didn't happen the way we tell you it happened, you're going to go to prison. If you go over the speed limit that we impose, even though there's nobody out there, you're in the middle of nowhere in Nevada or wherever, and you go over, you're going too fast down the road, you're going to pay us. See, it's what you can't do. And that lawyer was thinking about, because it says the lawyer asked him, tempting him. It was a test that the lawyer was given to Yeshua. And Yeshua comes back and says, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And I got to thinking about that, and I was so thankful, Lord, that I was so thankful to the Father that there's not a whole set of rules that we have to follow. There are laws for our benefit. And if you break some of these laws, you're not going to get fined. You're not going to get thrown in prison. You can eat pork all you want, folks. You know what I'm saying? And it's a positive thing on our part that the Lord wants. The Lord seeketh such to worship him. And he's given us so much, and that we should be so thankful, and so few times I am. There's so few times that I'm thinking about everything and how woe is me and this problem and that problem, and so little time do we actually spend being thankful and expressing our love to the Father. And yesterday afternoon was just one of those times when I was just so thankful. I actually came out and said, I love you, Father. I love you, Father. And for a man, that's considered a sign of weakness, But boy, that was where my being was yesterday, and my eyes are watering now just thinking about it. We spend so little time in love with the Father and in love with each other. It's all the bickering and fighting and backbiting and backstabbing and bitching and moaning and divorce and child custody fights and I'm better than you are, and I know more about Bible than you do, and you're not doing this right, and you're not doing that right, and don't you get tired of all that male cow dung? Don't you get tired of that? I certainly do. Life doesn't have to be that way, but that's the way it is because of sin, because of wrongdoing, because of our flesh, and because of Satan and his inroads into our world. Wouldn't it be wonderful to live in a world without the Esau Edomites? Yes, it would. That day is coming, folks. And I also wanted to tell you that the second commandment is like the first commandment. Let's go have a look at that. And the second commandment is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. This word here, neighbor, means your next of kin. It doesn't mean your next door neighbor if it happens to be a beast of the field or a non-Israelite. It's talking about next of kin. Thou shalt love thy next of kin as thyself. And I want to thank those of you who support this channel. I was able to pick up the 4 terabyte Seagate external hard drive. I got to go down and to the library to be able to get it set up like I want, because you have to be on the internet. So for those of you who support this channel, I want to thank you very much. Very, very much. This is going to be great. I can put everything in one hard drive. And then I want to thank my buddy Joe. He sent me some, oh, man, don't coffee beans smell good? You know, Yahweh's creation. These are organic, and hopefully, you know, they have the GMO haven't done that to coffee yet. You know what I'm saying? The Esau Edomites like to ruin everything, even your cup of coffee, if they get a chance to. They want to ruin your life. They want to ruin the economy. Anyway, I don't want to go there. Let's just keep this. And Joe, it was nice to chat with you yesterday. I hope you get your house finished, completed, and on the market by March 1st. And I tell you, I put this beans in my $1 brawn grinder this morning, and I ran the generator, and I want to thank you for supplying some funds to pay for some gas in the generator. Buddy, I'm praying that the Lord will bless your socks off for your support of this channel. And there's a lot of other things I could go into, but I just want to thank you, Joe, and the others who support this channel. There are many others, and I want to thank you all for that. You know what? We need to be more thankful. You know, just be more thankful. You know, one thing that I'm very thankful for is that I have good health still at my age. I see a lot of people that have a lot of health problems, and I got my aches and my pains, and I got my problems, but they're minor compared to most other people. So here's a toast to our health, everyone. And may the grace of God, our Father Yahweh, the creator of coffee beans, the creator of our ability to create things that make our life easier and we enjoy life, may His grace be upon us all, and may we, all of us, may we love the Lord thy God with all our heart, with all our soul, and with all our mind, as His grace is upon us. See you.
I'm not walking with the Lord like I used to. It's like temptation's got a hold of me, and I cry at night 'cause I ought to, and the praise to Him I hold, I'm on my bended knee. From the road I chose to raise my family, and the more I learned forgiveness, the less I saw of grief. And the more I watched His children, in their eyes I saw His light. Thank you, Lord, for the blessings. Thank you for the ride. Well, I